Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Jessica Bradley. I'm the Career Services Advisor here at American College of Healthcare Sciences, and wanted to thank you for coming today. We're going to be talking about Handshake. If you notice that you can't speak, it's because all lines have been muted. We're recording today's webinar so that we can share this with others, and this ensures our sound quality for everyone who views the recording later. If you have questions during the presentation today, please don't be shy. Put them in the chat. We love to hear from our students. We'd love to answer your questions. One thing to note about the chat box, if you see a little drop-down menu that determines who you're speaking to within the chat. One option is the host and panelist, and the other one is for everyone. You want to be sure that you are chatting with everyone so the entire audience can see your chats. You want to make sure that everyone sees those questions because some of you may have the same questions, so we can do that. I will also have Gina here and Catherine who will be helping me in the backgrounds in case there's any other help needed. Um, I am in California. It is currently pretty warm here, but it is good weather, and I'm happy that, we're getting into fall soon. And uh, how many of you have used Handshake before? Hopefully, a few of you. If not, that's what we're here for, so that you can get used to it and it becomes just part of your toolkit for looking for work and career. Um, our objective today, just so you know, is kind of to understand what Handshake is for. It's not just another career platform. It's actually something that can help you in your job search in real time. And there are lots of events and different things within the system. Uh, so Handshake is brand new to ACHS, but it's not brand new system. It's something that can be used across colleges. It's been around for quite a few years. It can be used for job searching, networking, career exploration, events. I'm going to walk you through important pieces of your Handshake profile and explain why completing your profile matters. We're going to talk about your job search strategy for internships and looking at safety tips for, making sure that you are getting legitimate uh, information to employers from employers. And then we're going to be talking about career services and the resources we offer here and how we can support you in your career journey. And then how Handshake can tie all that together. So let's start with the big picture. What exactly, you know, is Handshake and the introduction to career services? So I'm here to help you launch your career in any way I can help. That could be career exploration, finding pathways aligned to your education, interest, goals, building skills through resume support, giving you LinkedIn guidance, helping you with interview preparation, job search strategies, connecting you to employers, industry professionals. We're going to be rolling out our alumni program where we're going to have alumni mentors working with students, getting involved with wellness organizations, accessing career opportunities, anything along those lines. So Handshake overall is the number one career platform used by colleges and universities. It's a hub for jobs and internships. It's your connection point. Your journey may not follow a straight line. You could be exploring nutrition today, like many of our students, and then you could also be wanting to do wellness coaching tomorrow. So you're going to need lots of pathways and understanding of how you can get that opportunity that you're looking for in Handshake or outside platforms and decide what direction you're going to go in. And that can be looking for volunteer opportunities. I really recommend that. I recommend that if you don't have a background already in the wellness world, that you do start to volunteer while you're in school, even as soon as you graduate, that if you're looking for work, there's always a great way that you can be volunteering and getting yourself out there in the community, building those relationships and building your resume. Because your resume is kind of your pivotal point that employers are looking at. A lot of them want to see, like, okay, you've done the schooling, but also what have you done in your industry? How have you given back to your community? Um, in Handshake, there's also virtual events. So there's lots of webinars, there's workshops, there's a lot of ways that you can get plugged in and you can attend from the comfort of your own home. So there's also outside networking, but in Handshake, you can do all of that networking from your own home. And that's a wonderful way for you to be sure that you are building your resume, you're making those connections, but also, you're building your brand and you're understanding what is out there, what is the job market like, that sort of thing. There's also nationwide recruiters. So I know we have students from all over the country and the world. So within Handshake, there are many events that you can be a part of. So how does this benefit you? Career exploration uh, is something that you can easily do within Handshake. It's important in this wellness field because there isn't one career outcome associated with your degree. We all offer many degrees, many paths. Some of you may be on that entrepreneur way where you are just more wanting to do your own like business. Others of you want to work for larger corporations, or you see yourself working more in marketing, or you see yourself more in sales. So you want to explore those opportunities with health careers. You can receive personalized job recommendations within Handshake, so you can set that up for what you're looking for, and you can actually receive daily, like, these are the new jobs for you, and you can explore that, and then you don't have to search so much because it's coming to you, which is a nice thing. Um, if you want to schedule career service appointments, this is where you can do it. You can meet with me by phone, you can meet with me virtually, but that is a wonderful tool that you can use Handshake, and you can meet with me for 30 minutes to an hour, and we can talk about what it is you want to do, and I can help you explore those pathways and get to your next level. As I mentioned before, you can connect with those employers nationwide. So if you're in New York, there are lots of employers that are in New York, or if you're in Missouri, there's employers in Missouri. So, there's also opportunities for working virtually. You can also register for career events on Handshake. So you can be sure that you are getting plugged in, that you are attending those. They'll send you reminders so that you can do that. Um, I encourage you to also build your network, work with the different folks that are online here and start to reach out, start to make those connections, start to talk about, hey, I'm interested in your company. What are you offering? What kind of internships do you have? What kind of job opportunities are there for a graduate in my field? And sometimes they may not have that right away, but they could have it in the future. And that's wonderful because then you can already have that network built for yourself, if that makes sense. Um, I also think the job posting research tool is important because it's not something you look at just when you're ready to apply. It's just something you can explore along the way. And I think exploration leads to greater career outcomes in the long run with it all. So, um, so career paths within ACHS for alumni, this is just a small amount. But, um, if you're in holistic nutrition, you can go the the coaching route, right? Where you become a certified coach. You can become a wellness consultant where you're working with larger companies and you're helping them on their wellness journeys, different employees, or working one-on-one with people. You can do more of the corporate wellness where you're working with, let's say, Amazon, and you're helping them to offer more to their employees because more and more employers are realizing that wellness is something that is very important. If you don't have well employees, you don't have employees. And so they're hiring folks to come in and offer those programs. If you're more on the health and wellness, you could become a health coach where you're working one-on-one with different, folks and helping them figure out, depending on what your niche is, how to make their lives better. How do they use natural remedies to overcome different life, pathways? I have a student that I was just working with who wants to work with aromatherapy, but she wants to work with parents who have neurodivergent children because she has found that it really helps calm her children who were on the spectrum. And so there's so many pathways that you can choose. You can be a wellness program coordinator. So that's more where you're kind of coming up with the whole program that they can follow and give to their employees. A community health educator. This is where you work more in the public sphere and you're working maybe with the county on a program to help new moms have better mental health, or you're working with people who are, coming out of different diverse backgrounds and helping them become healthier and giving community education. So maybe you're more the type that likes to speak and, give back to the community. And then in aromatherapy, you can go into product development. So that's retail, wellness consulting, where you're more people facing, the entrepreneurship route, which a lot of students take, where you start your own business and you have your own products. And you can go in the community and you can work at different health fairs, and you can work with different organizations or smaller health organizations and offer your services. And then, of course, integrative health, which is a very popular program here, where you're working more in client services and you are helping people become more aware of all the different routes to wellness that they can take, not just the regular pharmaceuticals, but what else can they do to help their lives, right? Wellness education, again, as I mentioned before, educating the people on how they can better serve their selves and their community and be more well in all ways. And then holistic practice support. So if there is an integrative health doctor out there, you could also potentially work in tandem with them and offer services through what you do. So there's so many pathways. And I'm always telling students to explore those and match with what your passion is. That is what will really help you. And then entrepreneurship, of course, that pathway. I offer lots of help for people who want to kind of go down that road, going into your own private practice and offering your services. Again, being more of an entrepreneur in the wellness business development space. And then just those freelance opportunities. Sometimes our students do live farther from big cities, but there's still so many ways that you can access and help people, whether that's in the online space or starting something within your own community. So to access Handshake, you can get started today. If you see this QR code, if you haven't already, you can scan this QR code here and you can join Handshake and you can download the app. It's a great way for you to kind of be able to access it easily from your phone, and you can get re appointment reminders. Um, this is what I would love for you to do. You can register through the general Handshake registration site. The easiest way as well is the single sign-on. Once you're, in your ACHS account, where you can just use your existing credentials, and that will get you in. And then we're going to really talk about, how once you're in, you can actually use this forum to really explore those job opportunities. You can connect with employers. You can attend those webinars we talked about. You can look for opportunities and connections. And just overall, it's just another tool to build your future. Um, Okay, so creating your profile, I'm going to show you the profile in Handshake, but just to kind of give you some background, make sure you're uploading a professional photo of yourself in there, that your education is updated. So even if you're not finished, if you're not an alumni, you can definitely add the skills that you're learning now and the coursework that you're doing and when you're going to graduate to your profile. You can also add skills there, so you can talk about, any new skills you've acquired here or skills that you have from the past. And you can add your work experience. So that can be, even if it's not exactly in the wellness space, it's all good experience to have. Volunteer experience. I think a lot of people don't realize how much volunteer experience can actually help you in your job search. Either when something's paid or not paid, it's still experience. And employers do like to see that a student has made the effort, that they have gone out into their community and that they care about what they are studying, and they're actually really immersed in it and finding ways, to learn and grow. So that I would never say is not important. Volunteer experience is kind of an underutilized skill that students can use. Certifications, so anything that you have received outside of your time here or while you're in school, or even if you're pursuing a certification, you can always say that you will have that certification in June of 27, that sort of thing. And then making sure you're putting your career interests out there, because your career interest is going to show employers like what, when they're searching for potential employees, who to look for. And if yours is updated, they have a lot quicker way of finding you, if that makes sense. So definitely want to be sure that your profile is as complete as it can be, and it represents you professionally and really shows who you are. One of the best ways and easiest ways to kind of get this done is to have your resume already made and then upload it into the system. And then it will actually parse your resume and kind of fill out these sections for you before time. So that can be really, really helpful. So we are going to do a quick demo of Handshake.
And
Um,
Jessica, I don't know if
yes,
before you did the demo, if you wanted
if
to answer a couple of quick questions or if you wanted to save them for the
absolutely.
end.
Can you hop in and let me know some of those questions?
Yeah, so the first one was asked by Sienna. Which
Yes.
path is more popular to help others while working with plants and medicine? I also want to have a business with teas and honey being a supplier for that.
Well, I wouldn't say like there's a more popular route for that. I think if you want to work in the space of the integrative health and working in plants, I think it depends on the goal of you individually. I take every case with students on a case by case basis of what your goal is and what population you want to serve. Some people take that coaching route, as I mentioned. Some people are more interested in having their own products, and that's much more where they kind of see themselves and they want to be more on the sales side of things. And then others would like to work in a corporation and maybe be more of a consultant. So, Sienna, we can talk about that. We can make an appointment in the future and we can also explore that further for you.
And then
And
we have two more
of
questions.
course, thank
Helena
you.
had asked, I live in Michigan. I graduate with a master's in herbal medicine in December. Do you have contacts for employers in Michigan?
Yes, we certainly can explore that together. We can look at the major employers within your area that you're in Michigan, and we can explore further some pathways and ways that you can network and get yourself more in the forefront of those employers. I definitely have appointment spaces where I just do that kind of networking exploration with students. So I would love to meet with you and talk about that.
And
Thank you.
then we have a few more coming in. I don't know if you want to wait until the end to answer these other ones filtering in so you can get to the demo, but
Yeah. Let's I will touch back on those. Let me go to the demo. For those of you who have your account already, you can follow along. If you don't, this will just give you an idea of what it will look like once you get in that space. I will also offer appointments as well to help students explore Handshake more because it's new. Don't think you have to know it all and, understand that all right off the bat. Okay, so let me show you that. Okay, if you can all see this. Can you see my Handshake screen here?
yes. Yep, we
Okay,
can see it.
perfect. Okay, so this is what it will look like when you first get in. This one does not have the profile completed. And as I told you before, you can autofill with your resume if you have one. If you don't, no big deal. We can always add that, add the skills separately. But if you see in the bottom left where you can complete profile, you'll want to add your uh at least one work experience. At least I would say try to do two, but if you only have one, that's okay. You want to be as filled in as you can after you log in. Um, Upload that resume if you have it. If you don't, you can do appointment with me and I can help you work on that. You can also use Timely Care. They do appointments as well for resumes. So you can get that done in a relatively quick fashion. Making sure you're adding your skills is really important just because this will tell employers who you are, what you have to offer, what you're looking for, where you shine, basically. Make sure your resume is employer visible. You don't want it where it's kind of just you seeing it unless you're not ready to share that. I think that would be great. I think that if an employer can see who you are and your resume, you have a lot larger chance of them reaching out and making sure you're adding that profile photo. So for those of you who already have a LinkedIn or have had to, have a professional picture, you can add it here. And I think that can really make your account look more polished and you'll feel like you actually have a real person. The employers will as well that they're looking at. You can go on the left here and you can explore. They even have an option now, this is new in Handshake, where you can make a ATS ready resume. If those of you who don't understand what that is, ATS is the new applicant tracking systems that they've using in the last, I'd say, year or two to kind of make sure resumes have enough keywords that match a job before you see or get seen by a recruiter. So ATS friendly, very important. This is essential for a resume. And so they actually have a option now where you can make your resume ATS friendly within Handshake and you can customize it per job, which I think is amazing. Uh, and then once you start working with this more, it will actually show you top jobs that you would be a good fit for once it sees your resume. So you can click on these, you can apply within Handshake. You can look for, based off location. You can look if you want to do remote. if you're looking for an internship, if you're looking for part-time, full-time, you can really customize your search. And then if you look here, this is where those employer events I was talking about are housed. And so you can look for specific types of events that you might look for. Let's say you were like, oh, I'd love to see if they have a hiring fair or a career fair. You can look by that. You can look by location. You can look by, type of information that you're interested in. Are there any questions right now, Catherine, that you see or anything coming up around this?
Not at this point, no.
Okay, perfect. Um, and then there's even what's called collections, and I'm building this currently because this is a new program for us. But as we get new employers in, I will have collections that you can follow. So, this one is for ACHS companies that have hired our alumni, nutrition and wellness centers and spas. And I'm going to also be adding employers that are in the more integrative health space. And I will have different collections you can follow so that you get kind of customized jobs based off what it is that you are interested in. If you go over here to the People tab, you can see peers that are already on here and you can follow each other. So you can network. You can also find employers that you want to follow. So it's in some ways, if you know LinkedIn, it's similar that way, but I feel like it has even a more robust kind of offering. And Handshake is really made for current students and new graduates. That's really what it's kind of built for. You can also review your notification preferences and you can kind of tell Handshake what you want to be notified about, what type of jobs you want, and you can really make this custom to you. And again, I'm always willing to sit down with you and walk through the profile for you and with you, not for you, but with you, and help you customize it so that it meets your needs. And then there's an employers section where you can see what employers are here, who you follow. This is where you'd follow them. You just click on this little link. It's pretty user friendly. And then the Career Center tab, this is the one that's directly for us. And this is where you can book an appointment with me. You can look at resources that we add here. If we have any current surveys, they would be here, and those collections I told you about as well. And then all my contact information for the Career Center is here as well. So if you're like, how do I reach Jessica again? This is where you would do that. And that's, a very brief overview of Handshake in a nutshell, just to kind of give you an idea. But it has a lot that you can do. I couldn't possibly do it all here in this one meeting, but there are many, many ways to get connected. So I'm going to go back to the presentation for us. Are there any questions about what I just shared? And Catherine, you can share those with me. I will be happy to answer.
Not specifically
Nothing?
to the demo, no. There's other questions outside of that.
Okay, I will answer those at the end of the presentation. Um, okay, so this is really important. So when you're searching for opportunities, don't just look for one specific word. I have met with many students where they're like, I put in aromatherapy and I can't find any jobs. Nothing's coming back. I can't find anything. Well, this is where you get your career hat on and you start kind of diversifying your search. So, other keywords you could search, and this is just an idea, is wellness, nutrition, health coaching, community health, holistic health coordinator, health education, spa, client success. You can search for the specific place where you want to work, that company, see if they're on Handshake. And if they're not, we can always reach out to them and see if they want to add on to Handshake as well. You can filter for those remote opportunities if that's all you can do, or if you're just looking for part-time. So you're not wasting your time searching for things that actually don't match your needs. You want to be sure you're using your time effectively when you're job searching. Um, you can also focus by industry, which is good, but you do also want to sometimes have it a little more broad so you're not missing opportunities. So there's kind of a good balance in the middle when you're job searching. Um, I want to really stress that you need to watch for any red flags when you are looking for jobs or there's anyone reaching out to you for jobs. Unfortunately, since we're in the world of AI, there has been more phishing happening within job search. So if anyone is requesting money, financial details, don't ever share that. Any job offers that seem too good to be true or vague, or they're offering a lot of money and no experience needed, or they're not really giving you proper details about the job, or they're wanting to do an interview, but no one's wanting to like actually have a Zoom or anything, you can always reach out to me. And if you see anything within Handshake, you can flag it and say, I don't think this is legitimate. And they're very good about researching and making sure that those employers are no longer on the platform. This is something I want to be sure that you are really protecting yourself in any of your job search, whether it's on Handshake or LinkedIn or anywhere, that your information is not being taken and it's a legitimate job. Okay. Always research your employers. You can do a quick Google search and make sure, and it'll tell you pretty quickly if it's legitimate. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to me for support, and I can also help you research. I have no problem making sure you're safe in your job search. Okay. Um, okay. Sorry about that. I can't get to the next. Oh, it's not letting me move to my next page, but okay, there we go. And then to get the most out of Handshake, I would say that you want to activate your account. Do that as soon as you can, because if you're not using it, it can't help you. Complete your profile as best you can. If you don't currently have a resume, that's okay, but you can upload what you can and what you do have. Once you do have a resume, definitely upload that and make sure that it's as complete as possible. Explore your opportunities within Handshake, employers you want to follow, people that you want to connect with. I would definitely register for some events. That's one of the homework assignments I'd give you is look at what's out there and register. And I would love to hear your feedback on how the event went. Did you find it helpful? Were there any potential job opportunities? Did you get I also see another thing that they do for events is wonderful. They will also give you job searching tips. So some of these companies just want to give back and they want to show you, what's the best way in this new world of AI to get your resume out there, to be seen, to grow as an entrepreneur or starting your own business. I've seen a lot of those. So there's a lot of types of events. It's not just for jobs, it's also professional growth. So I would highly recommend you get in and kind of start using that. And then if you have questions or you want to talk more about how to utilize this or anything else, you can schedule a career services appointment with me. And you can do that through Handshake. And I would be more than happy to talk with you and explore further with you and how this program can help you and get you one step closer to your dream career goals. Um, and so just think about one action you can take today that can help you in your career exploration. And if you want to reach our career center, this is the best email to do that. This will be available as well for you to watch back. If you have questions or you have a friend who couldn't make it or anything, they can always find this on the website. And let me see the chat. Um, okay. Okay. So in order to make an appointment, okay, where was the questions ending? Okay. I can definitely help you with your resume, Christina. Um, and then you can make an appointment. You can actually write to this career center email and you can make an appointment that way, and I will send you the link, or you can just go through Handshake and you can make an appointment with me there. Um,
I also
and
added your meeting link in the
thank
chat as
you.
well so that they can
Thank
get
you. I
directly.
really appreciate that. Comparing Handshake to LinkedIn, that is a great question. I would say, and I think I touched on this some, Handshake is a little more interactive in some ways than LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for professionals, and so is Handshake, but Handshake is specifically made for current uh, college going students and new grads. And so I feel like it is a little more open to that space. And they have a lot of jobs that come in every single day. So does LinkedIn. I think having both is the best of both worlds. The more you can put yourself out there and be seen by different employers across different spaces, the better. So that if that answers your question, Martha, that's kind of how I would compare those. Um, and then Robbie, I said you can watch this later. Um, and then the events are all in Handshake. So once you activate your account and you're in, you can go to the events section and you can see all the current events that are in Handshake. And it's very easy. You put in your email and your name and you are registered. And they will send you a reminder and you can attend events that way. So is there any other questions? Let me see. What do you mean by the replay link? Okay, so that will be Catherine, you may be better to answer this one. They're asking where the replay link will be located.
Yeah, so this will be recorded and emailed to all that registered, but it will also be listed under our resources page on our website, and I can put that link in the chat in just a moment.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Um, So I do highly recommend that, um, thinking about and activating your account today, making sure that profile is completed. There will be questions, I'm sure, that comes up. This is a new program for us. Please be sure to reach out. Please be sure to share your kudos, what's gone well, and also any concerns you might have. I want to hear back. I want to know the feedback. I used this program at the previous college I was at, and I got a lot of really positive feedback from students. But, I'd like to hear all and be able to help in any way I can. I am more than happy to help you build your account or your resume, whatever it is that you need to feel more career ready. That is what I am here for. Are there any other questions? Don't be shy. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who attended and those, who will be watching this back. I hope you get some really good, valuable information. And we look forward to having Handshake be a partner with our ACHS students and grads. Thank you so much.